Welcome to OneLove with CJ,
and Monay.
where we keep it real all the way 100 about marriage and relationships.
Thanks for tuning in to our very first episode, our season premiere.
Woo woo!
Um, we're excited to be here.
Most deaf, for real.
Nervous
Very nervous.
because we are now on the spotlight
Yeah.
with people, but this is what we prayed for
Mm-hmm.
almost 11 years ago.
Yeah, it is.
11 years of us being married and 13 years of
13.
us being together.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So we're here. Over the years, we have poured into people,
Mm-hmm.
married couples, dating couples, single people, all people who have asked us on numerous occasions, when you gonna write a book or
Yeah.
when y'all gonna do a podcast or something
Or a movie.
or a movie.
I thought about that though. I thought about a movie for real. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Sure. Oh, and most recently, your cousin asked for us to do a reality show.
Oh, that would be top notch.
I can't see myself doing that.
I could do it. Just hide the cameras. That's all.
I can't see myself doing a reality show.
That'd be good though.
Whatever. We'll see. But for now, we're doing a podcast. So we've been married for 11 years, together for 13 years. Time is, well, almost 11 years, excuse me. December the 3rd will make 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And time has flown by.
Yes.
Like, unbelievably.
Golly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not experts at this, but we are experienced at relationships and
That's right.
imperfect
Mm-hmm.
by all means. So we just want to give a little bit of background about us, who we are,
Tad bit.
just a little ski taste
Yeah.
of what to expect. So you want to talk about how we met a little bit, summarize it, because I know
How we met. Golly, how we met. That's a ways back. Yeah. So how we met, it was high school. It was like, what year was it?
2005, 2006.
Was it?
2005.
2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like 2004. I said 2004. Fall 2004. So, Monet, she started at my school her sophomore year, my junior year. And I never forget her brother, which is, one of my best friends that I've known since 6th, 7th grade. He told me, hey man, my sister's coming to our school. I want you to look out for her. I said, man, I got you, bro. Anybody gonna try to holler at, your sister, I got your back, man. And when I seen her, I was like, oh snap. Like, that's your sister? Like, golly. So, but I never took it beyond that because it was just out of respect for, my bro. The old Tupac song, I used to think for your sister, but never went up in her. You know what I'm saying? It's just real life stuff. So I just never took it that far. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was she ended up writing me a love letter, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She tried to holler at your boy. It's not her fault. Right?
What?
It's not your fault. You try to holler at me. Well, it is what it is.
Okay.
But, we just end up being cool, talk on the phone. It was a little crush, we had a crush on each other. Never took it that far.
And nobody ever knew.
Yeah, nobody knew. And
ever.
We talked on the phone for like hours and hours. It was like one of them things of, you sleep yet?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't sleep.
Fall asleep on the phone with each other.
Yeah.
Run up your mama's cell phone bill.
Yeah, I did that too. So mom, if you're watching this, it's her fault. That bill was like, a couple thousand. That's back when text message was like 10 cents a text message. So it was her fault. She was texting me.
Okay, so what about me? What were you attracted to when you first met me or seen me, I guess, because you didn't meet me, you saw me first.
Yeah, so when I saw you, I saw your eyes, the way you walked, and just how you carried yourself, right? So I knew right there, I was like, man, I'm like, golly. I didn't know what it was. It was just something, right? And your hair, just you. I was like, man, like your facial, like it was just every single thing, right? So it was really no one specific thing. It was like everything like wrapped up in one, you know.
So I feel the same way about you. Like it's unexplainable, but it was like something about your presence.
Hmm.
Like I used to say, you look like a cute little innocent.
And I
I
was.
don't know, like an innocent boy, but it wasn't like. But it wasn't that. I don't know. It was like a little balance of innocence, but still a little bit of hardness to you. I don't know. It was odd. It's unexplainable, like you said. Like it was just your presence
Hmm.
that attracted me to you in the beginning.
You thought I was innocent. I
No,
mean,
I
I was.
did, but
I
I
mean,
didn't.
I
Like,
was innocent,
but you weren't. Stop
you know.
lying.
So
Stop lying. But you gave off that kind of vibe about you, but you didn't. It's really hard to explain
hmm.
what I saw in him because I can visualize it very clearly in my mind with your long t-shirt all the way down to the ground.
That's how we did.
It was just different. It's a certain look that you had about yourself that just
Hmm.
I don't know. It attracted me to you, but I never acted on it. Well,
Kind of did.
publicly, I
Yeah,
wrote you a
public.
letter.
Okay, yeah, you wrote me a letter. Okay,
Okay, but I think a part of it was the fact that you were friends with my brother
okay,
and on the
yeah,
drum line with him.
yeah.
But another part of it was you weren't in the crowd that I was in. I was always focused on being Miss Popular or being with the popular people. And,
Hmm.
you know, yeah, I was something else. So fast forward, right? I was in college and I
Hmm.
don't remember, but you told me you reached out to me and we talked
Yeah.
once when I was in college. I don't
Hmm.
remember
I
that at
remember that.
all.
I was still living with my parents. I had just started working for Cherry Hospital in North Carolina, this a state psychiatric hospital. And yeah, I don't know how I got your number, but I called you, and she like kind of rushed me off the phone at that point. You know what I'm saying? She,
Because again, I was focused on what I had going on at that time. Like, I don't know, but I don't remember that though.
yeah,
So I probably
it was
did
kind of
curve you
quick.
because
It was kind of
it
quick,
wasn't I wasn't interested.
you know.
But then you reached out to me again. So he don't
Hmm.
give up, y'all.
Nah, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it.
So you reached out to me again. We
Hmm.
got connected. Clearly we made some folks mad.
Yeah, it is what it is with that.
Um I met your parents.
Hmm.
Somehow I became his girlfriend without him asking me to be his girlfriend. I found out I was his girlfriend through him telling somebody I was
Hey,
his girlfriend.
hey, that's that swag right there. You know, it's just one of the things just happened. You know, I like yo, this it's my girl.
Whatever. So shortly after that, literally, y'all, we was fast. Found out we were pregnant with our first child, like a month later.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Was
So
it was
it
a month
was
later?
yes. We started dating and started kicking it in October, and I found out I
Hmm.
was your girlfriend in
Hmm.
October,
Hmm.
and then I found out I was pregnant Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
the month after that.
yeah. That's true. It's facts.
But he trapped me, so we'll talk about it another time.
I ain't trapping.
So he still had not met my father. I was living with my father and my bonus mom at the time. He had not met my dad yet.
I haven't.
I met his family. My siblings
Hmm.
already knew him. But my dad was like tired of me being indecisive on being in a relationship with people. So he was
Hmm.
like, I'm not meeting him because you can't make up your mind. So it took him a long time to meet him. He didn't meet him till about,
How many months were you pregnant with money then?
I don't know, because I know they found out I was pregnant with her maybe around January, February-ish. Because I didn't tell them that I was pregnant either
Hmm.
for some time. We finally met them, and it was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
it was kind
After
of.
that,
I mean, to be honest, I would have been upset. Your dad is a real dude because I know I probably would have been upset. You know, if that was me in that situation.
he was upset.
I mean, I know he was, but I could see.
Not being welcoming to you.
Yeah.
But that actually wasn't the reason. But it probably didn't make it any better when he found, because he found out I was pregnant by someone else telling him that I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell him still.
Yeah, I still would have been upset though.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
So fast forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had our first daughter. CJ proposed to me. We broke up a couple times in between there, though.
We did. A couple times.
Yeah. There were some obstacles, Again, I was pregnant early on in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Then after having our first daughter, I snatched sex away from him. I know that was tough. We argued a lot during that time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to get pregnant again. And I hated being on birth control. So my thing was, we ain't having sex again until we get married. And I stuck to it, y'all.
And fellas, let me tell you something. All right. We were, what were we when mine was born? It was
21 and 22.
So a 22-year-old male, imagine being told that. Okay. You got to be pretty strong. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Sorry.
It's a lot of pressure.
My grandmother, she told me I was dead wrong for that when I did
a lot
that.
Of pressure, boy.
But I couldn't see where you were coming from with that, because all I could see was, I don't want another child being unmarried.
Yes, understandable. I understand. I can see that coming from your perspective.
But I didn't think that you were walking out on me, because you shocked me, because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you have children unmarried, and then the biggest possibility is the dude's gonna walk away from you, right? But you were like, nah, you coming to live with me. But I didn't. I stood firm on, I didn't want to be a live-in girlfriend. I didn't want you to get the milk for free,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be everything that a wife would be without being a wife. So I stood firm on not living with you.
You want to be like comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You want to be
No. I didn't want you to become comfortable.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my mindset.
The overall comfort. You know what I'm saying? Be a regular stat of, young couple having a kid and never getting married.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I desired to be married.
Yeah.
And I had always prayed since a little girl, Lord, I want to marry the person that I have children with. And so I used to be like, so God, I had a kid with him. Is he going to be my husband? Like, I used to talk to God like that, like, because I know I prayed this, and I know you ain't going to let me have a child with somebody else, even though I was doing, the things to have a kid. But still, I'm like, is this really supposed to be my husband? Because I prayed about that for years and years and years. That the only person I ever wanted to have children with would be the person that I was going to be married to. So, but anyway, yes, I took sex away from him for quite a while. We had our first daughter July of 2010, and we did not get married until December of 2011.
Yep.
And I stood firm to that.
She did.
So
she did.
And I would spend the night with him. And
wasn't even getting keep it 100. Wasn't even getting boy.
So, but he hung in there because clearly, right?
We still together, yeah.
So fast forward some more. You proposed to me. He did not ask for my father's permission.
Again, dad's a strong man. Cause I'd be upset.
Really?
Yeah.
You expect the person to ask?
I'm not gonna say upset, but I feel like the older me looking back at the younger me, I should have at least ran it by your father, just out of respect. Man to man.
So I had a conversation, but not necessarily asking permission.
Yeah, at least have a conversation, because you got to think about it. He's a man, raised you. Now here it is, another young man, about to take you away from him. You know what I'm saying? So I should have had the courage, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
or the respect to just talk to him about the situation, about how I was feeling.
I mean, I do understand having a conversation.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing with that I don't agree with it as a whole, not just in our relationship, but as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
is seeking someone else's permission or approval
Yeah.
to move
Yeah.
forward in a relationship that you feel is for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know if my dad would have said yes at that time.
He probably wouldn't. I wouldn't
You know
blame
what I'm
him.
saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think, yeah, I don't think he would say yes at that time. But I felt like you were it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what if you asked for the permission and he said no?
That's true.
So I do understand having the conversation
Yeah.
as a whole, even as it pertains to our children. When that time comes, the
Mm-hmm.
guy can have a conversation with you or us,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not necessarily asking for permission because they have to live with that relationship.
That's true.
So
I think with me at that time, I was just a young male,
mhm,
trying to find my way in the world.
mhm,
I knew what I wanted, but didn't know how to go after it, right?
mhm.
The proper channels and,
Understood.
yeah, so.
And he don't hold that against you today.
Yeah, I know he
You
doesn't.
know.
I know he doesn't. But it was just, a lot of pressure for somebody trying to be something,
Yeah.
so.
And I asked him about it, and I'm his daughter.
Yeah.
And he's giving me away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could see it had probably been a little better if you had a conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, as a whole, agree with asking for permission. But that's just me.
Okay.
But we moved forward with that because he still gave me away,
Mm-hmm.
and he never gave his stamp of approval verbally. Obviously, he did when he handed me off because he
Yeah.
could have declined to do that,
He could have, but he didn't.
but he did not, and he was not in a bad headspace because we were literally cracking jokes walking down the aisle.
Yeah, I saw you.
That's just how me and my dad are. We goof off a lot. So, but he didn't give his stamp of approval until after the wedding
Mm-hmm.
ceremony.
Yeah.
He called and told us that
Mm-hmm.
he felt like it was the right thing to do. For the most part, I think everyone else at that time pretty much either just like for my mom, my bonus mom, and my siblings, they signed off on it. I mean, they participated, right? So, and also my bonus dad, he was there as well. But I think my dad's approval, because he's my dad,
Yeah.
mattered the most.
Yeah, that mattered the most.
Yeah.
Like,
Not that
yeah.
I wasn't looking for his permission, but I did
Yeah.
want him to be okay with it because he was my father.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, right? We moved in together finally.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after, we got pregnant with our second child.
Mm-hmm.
I quit working.
Yeah. It seemed like, did we feel struggling at that time?
We felt it.
We felt it, or did we not let it
It didn't bother us.
It didn't bother us,
but we felt it. I mean, we struggled.
We did.
Badly.
We did.
But it was the most connecting time of our marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because it was new.
Yeah.
Or if it was just because, I don't know, we didn't have nothing else to do. Because we didn't have money to do nothing else.
We didn't.
But pay bills and connect.
But we still were striving for better at that time.
Yes.
So I think the struggle was lovely because even though you were struggling, you still saw light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that meant a lot at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we always did. We never settled We just kept grinding for what was next.
Yeah, because even when we had our second child, I could not get public assistance. Oh God, you remember that? Like I was heartbroken. Like all I wanted was a little bit of help with like.
Just wanted a wig.
Yeah, all I wanted was help with wigs.
Just wanted some eggs, milk and eggs. Couldn't get milk and eggs.
We could not. Like we didn't make enough to get ahead, and we didn't make enough. I mean, we didn't make too little to get assistance. Man, that was. I mean, it was hard.
Very hard. Daycare. We were in school full time.
We made it work though, because we listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all something about our lives here. And I'm gonna try not to cry because I cry about everything. But God is so amazing.
He is.
Y'all, when we first got married, again, like you said, we struggled living in a little 2-bedroom apartment that had water bugs, and we never liked to have company because those water bugs would just come out of nowhere, and I didn't want nobody to think we had roaches.
And dope boys.
Then we had a dope boy that lived downstairs, and
a woman beat it behind us.
Yeah.
So it was like
terrible.
Golly.
So then we upgraded to a house, a little ranch style home, and I'll never forget looking for the home, and again, my father stepping in and being like, "Y'all can afford that," and me and CJ like, "No, we can't." And shore shooting. I'm gonna say that country slang. Shore shooting. We went and looked at this one house, and that man, I can't even remember his last name. Stephen Cook. Thank God for Stephen Cook.
Yes.
Because he had multiple showings that day.
Yeah.
And he really found favor in our situation. And CJ put in his application immediately. He approved us immediately. We got to move in immediately.
Yep.
Like we got to move in a couple days before the lease start. I mean, like everything flowed.
Yeah, everything. And it was nothing but God, because I never forget, I was supposed to pay him. So I paid him the deposit. And when you're renting, they need like first month's rent ahead of time. So we moved in before we even paid first month's rent. So I never got paid for first month's rent. I didn't get paid. We got paid late because of the holiday. And so he needed the money before we even moved in, but he still let us move in. And so it was nothing but God, because I called him and said, "Hey man, my money didn't hit the account yet. So I can't pay you to this day." And he said, "Don't worry about it. When the banks open up the next business day, they call me. We'll talk about it."
Yeah.
That wasn't nothing but God, right?
It wasn't.
We didn't have any money to move in. We didn't have any money. We had just enough to make it. So it was nothing but God.
And I think our family came together between.
Oh my goodness.
So your parents, my mom came, and LJ came from Virginia. My brother, like our family came together with their vehicles, and I don't remember if we got a moving truck or not, but I just know it was like all hands on deck because we had little to nothing financially to make things happen, but our family made it happen.
Yep.
And then, we couldn't afford, so fast forward, and once we moved into the home, we had Charlie, our second daughter, and we needed daycare because I started going to school full time. And y'all know how expensive daycare is. And again, I told you we were already broke, right?
That was rough.
We just stumbled across this lady, Miss Evelyn.
How we end up getting in touch with Miss Evelyn?
I think someone that Miss Tanya knows.
Okay.
All right. She connected me with Miss Evelyn. I think they went to the same church, I think.
Okay.
But she had an in-home daycare. And this lady was so amazing. You get nervous about sending your children off somewhere. And then again, it's an in-home daycare. So and on the south side of Raleigh. And, so like there were a lot of factors that was like, I don't know. Yep. You know what I'm saying? She took the best care of our girls.
Best.
gave us the best rate
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah. The best rate.
and let us flip flop.
Yeah.
So they could both go, but
Yeah.
both part time. But we paid for one child. Like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, amazing.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in a parking lot one day and calling you on the phone. Was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I told you I cry about everything. Just thinking back on
Mm-hmm.
where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling you and I'm like, man, isn't it amazing how we struggled so badly in an apartment where everything was so much cheaper? And then we moved into this home and all of our bills just get paid, like they just flowed.
Yep.
We didn't feel the struggle anymore.
We didn't.
But our bills increased, but the paychecks didn't.
Yep.
I don't know, but
It's God.
Truly.
Having faith, still having ambition and to keep pushing and move further in life. All that stuff adds, it's a part of life.
Yeah.
Period. And went from there to
I graduated.
And we got our house.
Bought home.
Yeah. And it's crazy how that worked, because when we went to get our house, it was all based off my income. So I'm gonna be honest, the house we had, I didn't want the house because I didn't want the mortgage on it. This chick right here said she didn't want any other house but that house. The most expensive one we saw, just about, really. So we went ahead and got it. Again, in my mind, I'm like, how am I gonna pay for this? Right?
Because I still wasn't working.
Yeah, she had just finished school.
No, I just got a job.
Yeah.
But I was making $13 an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, because we were at the temp agency then.
I just got the job at the orthopedic office.
Okay, but that wasn't included into the mortgage.
Right.
So everything was just on me at that point. And right when we closed on the house, when you had to call for the job.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it was an increase for us, and
God worked it out.
Man, he did. Don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Yeah, because every door was closing when I was trying to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want entry level, inexperienced people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was.
But the house was perfect. It was in a perfect location. It was in a perfect school system.
Mm-hmm.
It was close to family who was helping us with our children, and I just couldn't say no. I mean, and it was 3 bedrooms, 2-story, like your childhood dream, white picket fence, garage, all in that.
Had a chihuahua and everything.
We did.
We did have chihuahua. That's another story.
Yeah.
Had a chihuahua though, and want to keep talking about up to now, or we?
Sure. I mean, we just continue to grow, and we're faithful to being good people in society, right?
Yeah.
So God continues to bless us, and we won't get too deep into the additional obstacles that we face within our marriage, until later episodes. Of course, you got to tune in more for those.
Yeah. It gets deeper.
Yeah, but we continue to grow and still growing.
Yeah.
But just for those who know us now, who didn't know us then, God is just so amazing to us.
Yeah.
In the midst of us being imperfect people individually and an imperfect couple, God is just truly amazing. And so we can't, especially because when we first got married, like I said, we asked God to put us in a position to where we could pour into other young couples.
Yep.
And it doesn't even just have to be young couples, people in general.
Yeah.
To give them hope.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't see hope.
Yeah.
Or everybody isn't as strong as you. Sometimes where you can show, or tell people, or inform people, hey, I know you're going through some stuff. You're ready to call it quits. This is what I've been through. This is what we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives people hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because they think they're the only ones that's going through things, or the only ones that's been through the situations they've been through.
Yep.
And not realizing everybody goes through trials and tribulations.
Yep.
No matter who you are, how long you've been married, whether you're spiritual or not, regardless.
Okay.
So hey, it's just one of the things that it's all about the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're doing this, really.
Yep. Because we learned recently our marriage is not just for us, but it is for the community.
That's
and
right.
I'm going to say this, and then we going to let y'all go, because we'll get, like I said, more into it in our next episodes. But when we did our 10-year vow renewal, I made a statement that I learned shortly before that. No, when you get married, you don't know how to be married if you've never been married before.
Yeah.
If you've been married before, you don't know how to be married to the person you're married to.
That's right.
The new person you're married to. So, although I respect and understand the advice that has been given in the earlier stages of our marriage of you keep your marriage to yourself, don't be sharing your marriage with other people as far as like the problems and the things that you go through. I respect where that comes from, but at the same time, I've learned the complete opposite.
That's right.
Because it wasn't until we started sharing or reaching out to people who have the wisdom, to pour back into us, because we're always pouring into others, always. And they're sharing their experiences with us, and then we're advising or encouraging.
Right.
But once we started expressing and sharing with others, and then they started pouring into us, that's when we started seeing a turnaround in our marriage.
We did.
So I've learned that it is not meant to be kept.
Right.
Some things, of course, I get it.
Yeah, some things, yeah, but not overall. You can talk about your struggles and stuff. And,
yeah. Because how else are we gonna learn?
Yeah, you can't. Everybody learns from each other.
Yep.
Babies learn how to walk by watching their parents.
Correct.
Or siblings. Somebody gotta show somebody something.
Yep. So that's why we're here. So we hope that you tune in with us every Sunday at 5 p.m. On YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
Ding, ding.
So that you'll get notified every time that we upload. Follow us on our social media accounts, currently at Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any comments, please drop them below. Please, we love to hear from you.
Type it. Please type it.
He be doing too much.
I can't help myself.
It's okay. Yeah. And be sure to share. Share this. Share our social media page. And if you have any, suggestions or anything like that, again, drop them in the comments.
Yep.
We will read and we will respond.
Yep.
All right. You good?
That's good. That's awesome.
All right. Well, peace.
One love.